G'day folks, Lynx here, and welcome to Factorio K2+ Space Exploration. So I've been doing this run, I've been working on this run on and off for quite a while now, but I've just returned to it. I know it's been quite a while since I've uploaded, and obviously this isn't Minecraft. So I just wanted to show sort of where I am in the run, do a bit of a base tour, because this is a long pack. I've heard that the average time is like 500 plus hours for a K2SE run. But so I'll do kind of milestone videos. At various milestones. At the moment, I'm currently at utility science, so I'm just in getting into the spacey stuff. But yeah, we'll have a look at the base in a minute. So just before we do, really quick, first we'll go, I'm playing with some extra mods, so for full transparency, I will go through those mods in this video, so then I don't have to cover it in future videos. And also just really quick channel update. So we'll get the ladder out the way first. You're probably aware that I've not uploaded in quite a while. I thank everybody who is still subscribed or still watches or has watched my videos previously. This is not a job for me. I have a full-time job, etc. So this is just a hobby for me to upload and share my experiences playing tech-based games that I like Factorio, Minecraft, and whatnot. So basically, towards the end of last year, just got really busy with work. I work in the tech space, and it can be quite a mentally taxing. The job can be quite taxing on mental bandwidth. So coming and doing something like GTNH, when you're already sort of fried, is not obviously not great. So I took a bit of a break from Minecraft and I took a bit of a break from Minecraft in general, just to basically play other games. One of those other games is Factorio, and obviously one of your first questions is going to be, especially if I'm playing something like K2SE, doesn't that basically require the same basically brain power as like Nomi Factory or GTNH? The answer is yes, but one thing that I do like about Factorio is the perspective means that you can iterate a lot faster. So if I make a mistake, or if I want to redesign something or rebuild something or whatever, it's very easy to iterate on because of the top-down 2D perspective, and obviously things like construction bots and so on. So although I do still have to do quite a lot of, and obviously tools like blueprints and being able to blueprint your designs and reuse them as part of other designs and so on. So although it is, although I still have to sort of think roughly the same amount as something like Nomi Factory or GTNH, the actual physical act of interacting with the game is a lot easier than Minecraft, and that's just the first-person view nature of Minecraft. It's one of the reasons why I haven't necessarily gotten along very well with Satisfactory. I played it for a bit, and I think it's a good game, but it's the first-person perspective just felt a bit harder. So I do fully intend to come back to GTNH and Nomi Factory and do Minecraft stuff again, but it's when I find time. It's when I find time, to be honest. So that's just update on the channel stuff, and basically where we sort of currently are, where I sort of currently am with stuff. Another thing is I've been playing about with OBS and audio and video settings and so on, so we'll see how that goes. I've hopefully made things slightly better, but we'll see how we go. So K2SE, I am using the this requires that you disable the Space Age DLC, as space exploration is marked incompatible with Space Age for obvious reasons. They're both very big overhaul mods, and you also need to disable quality. But you can use elevated rails if you have the Space Age DLC. If you've purchased the DLC, you do still have the choice of using elevated rails. So I have left elevated rails enabled because it means that I can keep reusing my rail blueprints. Otherwise, otherwise we'll go through the non-standard mods, and I'll just provide a quick explanation of what they are and why I've enabled them. So blueprint sandboxes is basically just nice little kind of like lab environment that you can go into with editor permissions, basically to build blueprints. So that's really nice. They only, I think, recently added compatibility with space exploration for Factorio 2.0. If you do have a problem, if you are playing this and you try to use blueprint sandboxes and you run into a problem, it appears that with space exploration you need to set the isolation mode to full isolation, rather than, I think it's like none or whatever the other option is. Bob's inserters. The early game requires quite a bit of spaghetti, so I just find Bob's inserters easier. I've actually never used Bob's inserters before this run. But it basically just allows you to have inserters that swing at weird angles and stuff like that. So obviously there are other mods like bottleneck light, bullet trails, you know, that are just like graphical mods. I'm not going to go into those. Editor extensions is, again, just adds extra useful things to use in the editor when you're inside the blueprint sandbox. Factorio HD Age is just a texture upscale for Factorio. So it upscales all the various textures. So hero turrets. So hero turrets, basically when turrets kill things, they level up, they get level, and as they get more levels, they get increased range, damage. Actually, I don't know if they get damage. I know they get increased range and reduced cooldown and so on. So yeah, so I've added hero turrets just for a bit of fun. The amount of kills that they have to get to actually rank up, I don't really think makes them very overpowered. These are all default. I've installed Far Reach, just quality of life. To be honest, I'm probably going to use Far Reach in all my Factorio runs now. It basically just, if you can see it on your screen, you can reach it. I think that's basically the range. I think it's like a 200 tile reach range or something. My quick start I'm actually not using. I just never disabled it. That just adds jetpack GUI. Realistic decoration cleanup, again, it's just a cosmetic mod. Basically, when you place down buildings or concrete or whatever, it just gets rid of like random terrain decorations like bushes and stuff like that. Space trains. So I really like the look of these space trains, but they are better than the vanilla and Factorio 2 trains. They are gated to, I think it's Energy Science 1 is what they're gated to. You get them with Space Rail. So when you research Space Rail, you get the space trains as well. They are definitely more powerful than the standard trains. They're about twice, the default speed is about twice the top speed of a normal locomotive. But yeah, that's fine. Space Age OST is just a little mod that I've made. It's not like publicly available or anything. It's literally just so I can have the Space Age OST while I'm playing space exploration. It literally just adds all the Space Age songs to the Now Vis playlist. So yeah, that's all that is. So the changes I made to space exploration are basically, I've added the core miner drill output inventories are linked. So basically the core miners all share a linked inventory. So no matter how many core miners you've got, they output to a single inventory. It doesn't change mining rate or anything like that. It basically just means that you can have multiple core miners, but only have to have one unload, one point where you actually handle the fragments. Prevent accidental generation of orbit surface. Literally all that means is that when you go to view a planet's orbit, if that orbit hasn't been generated, then you will be told to shift click the button, and it's basically to stop you from accidentally generating surfaces and bloating your save file. I can't remember why I added this one, but it basically allows Factorio 2 loaders to unload through walls. And Universe Explorer highlight zones new to you. So the Universe Explorer can get very big. You can get, I'll show you it. You can get a very big list of zones. So basically, it's just quality of life to highlight recently discovered zones. The biggest probably gameplay changes, to be fair, are there are a series of mods for or a series of add-ons for space exploration that add the space age buildings. Now, these are not the same stats as what is in space age. So if I use the cryo plant as an example, it does not have 8 module slots, it only has 3, but it still has a crafting speed of 2. And the way it's positioned in the research is it is positioned between, if you have Crestorio 2 like I do, it's positioned between the chemical plant and the advanced chemical plant. So the Crestorio 2 advanced chemical plant is still better than this. It also changes some recipes, so all cryonite processing has to be done in the cryogenic plant rather than chemical plants. So yeah, it's basically just a faster chemical plant, but it's not as good as the advanced chemical plant from Crestorio 2. If you install this mod without Crestorio 2, then it actually has 6 module slots and a crafting speed of 4, I think. But obviously we're using it with K2. The electromagnetic plant, so this has I think it's a crafting speed of like 4, whereas the space age one is 5. And instead of having 50% productivity, it just has 20% productivity. And otherwise it makes the same sort of stuff, circuits, modules, etc. One thing I should point out, none of these buildings can be used in space, so they don't affect the balance in space. The mod will not let you place any of these buildings in space. So yeah, so basically this is, I think it's Energy Science 3 when you get the EM plant. The next one is Foundry. That is an upgrade. It is placed as an upgrade to the casting machine, to the space exploration casting machine. So I believe it has the same crafting speed and module slot count as the casting machine, but it gets a 20% productivity bonus. And also it gets a steel recipe exclusive to the Foundry that doesn't require coke. So it's, yeah, so that's quite nice. Productivity technologies adds the space age productivity tech, so like rocket part productivity, blue chip productivity, steel, plastic, etc. I'll show you the researchers in game when we go in. It'll be a bit easier to explain, but the way it's balanced is you don't get the infinite level until Deep Space Science, which is near the end of the game. So you get, I think it's 5 levels, so you can get up to 50% productivity prior to Deep Space Science, and then to research it infinitely, you need Deep Space Science. The default productivity level bonus per level is actually 20%, but you have the option to set it to 10, which matches space age. So I've set it to 10 because I thought 20% per level was too high. And then stack inserters and belt stacking literally just adds stack inserters and belt stacking from space age. There's no changes to how that works. And I'm also using water fill. Now, for anyone who knows what this mod does, it basically allows you to place water as if it's landfill. I have not enabled the cheat setting in here though, so I cannot place water fill on planets that are waterless in space exploration terms. So I can't use this to cheat water onto planets that otherwise would not be allowed to have water. Basically, I just put it in as a convenience to be able to place offshore pumps wherever I want and stuff like that. So yeah, oh, we have an update. Oh, space exploration has an update. Cool. I will deal with that when I relaunch. So if we go look at the base. So where I am right now is I have space science, and I have the ability to make utility science as well. I just need to actually assemble the setup in space to do it. So I am about, how far in am I? I'm about 97 hours in. To be fair, I have been leaving the game AFK sometimes as well. So, but I launched my first rocket, I think it was about 48 hours when I launched my first rocket into space. So as you can see, got a nice respectable pollution cloud. Yeah, we'll have a really quick tour. So on Now Vis, I'm still at the, and this is part of the reason why I want to do this video. I am going to move to a train-based base, but I wanted people to understand that I will be moving to a city block design, and eventually most of the updates will be, my base will look like a series of blocks. But you really have to start with spaghetti, or basically a main bus plus a bit of spaghetti in space exploration. And Factorio 2 makes that a bit worse because it adds extra recipes in the early game. So I wanted people to see what things look like before I get to trains. So I'm not going to go into everything because obviously it's you can sort of experience it for yourself and look at it yourself. So we'll basically just have a quick tour over each surface. I'm currently only on one other planet, and obviously I've got the little setup in space. So I've got a core mining setup. This is really rudimentary. I just have a single core miner at the moment, and I've just been using this to literally drip feed resources to this base because most of my mines have actually run out now, except for the iron mine. I think that's still got a decent... Yeah, the iron mine's still got a decent amount left in it. The copper does too, actually. It's really just stone that I've run out of. But stone is used quite a lot because stone is used in circuits. It's used in circuits and it's used in a few other things, so it is used quite a lot. But this is just a really rudimentary core mining setup. I'm using Factorio 2 flare stacks to make sure it doesn't block, block on fluids. So I burn off excess pyroflux, mineral water, and water. And then oil is sent to my refinery setup up here, which we'll look at in a sec. And then what I do is unfortunately, there is no real easy way to void stuff in K2+SE. I hear that in the old days, you could just turn all excess resources into landfill and then put the landfill into a crusher, but that recipe was removed. So for now, I'm just shoving landfill in a warehouse, which isn't great, but at 500 stacks, it'll take quite a while for the warehouses to fill up. And obviously, stuff is being consumed as you can... Well, that copper isn't, but... yeah, you can see some iron is getting put onto the belts, etc. So, yeah, core mining basically gives you, on Now Vis anyway, gives you all the basic resources. So coal, stone, copper, iron. It gives you rare metals if you've got Factorio 2, which honestly is the thing I'm having the most difficulty getting rid of, because even though I'm making loads of blue chips, I'm just not making enough to consume all the rare metals. So my biggest source of landfill right now is actually rare metals, but even then you can see we still have a lot of slots left. And when I build the new base, I'll be using a lot of landfill. And it also gives you uranium, which I'm just sending into a really basic centrifuge setup, which is saving the 235 in a warehouse and is making the 238 in ammo, which I should probably stop now. I have enough uranium ammo now. So that is basically how most of my resources are getting generated. Factorio does extend the... Actually, so Factorio adds quartz and silicon, because I don't think quartz is a AAI resource. Yeah, no, it's not. So a couple of extra resources K2 adds to the early game is quartz and silicon, which are needed for some electronics stuff. Otherwise, the stone is turned into glass, which is just normal space exploration. And then stone bricks, as you'd be used to. And then iron. The smelting stacks are still the same, even in K2. But the throughput works a bit differently. So I think it's, what is it? It's like 5 plates. It's 20 iron ore gives you 15 iron plates. But I think the way that the ratio works is it still works out to 48 furnaces to a belt, essentially. But it doesn't matter because we're getting industrial. I have researched industrial furnaces, so when I rebuild the base, these furnace stacks, I never bother with electric furnaces because you get the industrial furnace as soon as you get space science. So it's just, and there's nothing really better than the industrial furnace until you start doing ingot casting, where you use casting machines and foundries. So steel is a bit more annoying to make. It actually, because it requires coke, which is made from wood and coal, and wood is made from sand because realistic. Wood can also be made just from plain water, I think, as well. But yeah, so the steel is basically, yeah, it does need an extra ingredient. And unfortunately, even when I get better, like industrial furnaces and whatnot, it still needs coke. It's only until I get the foundry from the foundry mod that I can get thingy. Nothing up there. That's fine. And then basically, I've done just a main bus, which will all get demolished eventually, and it's science at the top, and blue chips at the top for some reason, and then it's production at the bottom. So one of the more annoying things, and I don't think this is specifically just K2, I think even in vanilla SE, this is also a bit meh. A lot of the early game recipes require are very elongated compared to vanilla Factorio, and to be honest, I really do like space exploration and K2, but my biggest gripe in this run has really just been early game malls are very annoying to set up. So the way I've done it is with warehouses, where I just have the ingredients coming into a warehouse, and because I'm using Bob's inserters, I can actually get, what is that, like eight belts, I think 7 belts to a warehouse using Bob's inserters. So it's actually not too bad. And then I just use circuits to make sure that we don't overflow the last warehouse in the chain. And then because I have bots now, everything's just hooked up to passive provider chests. But this is basically how I've done my mall. So this was like all the basic stuff, you know, belts, refineries, radars, boilers, furnaces, assemblers, etc., inserters. This was all military stuff, so turrets, ammo, walls, grenades, cannon shells. Now that I've got my tank, explosive cannon shells ready for when I start making artillery. Which is not researching at the moment because my space science is dead. And then this one is the more advanced stuff. So this is more advanced stuff that needs red chips. And then it also goes off into this area for making cargo rocket sections. And then everything else here is this is all for robots. And then we have low density structure, heat shielding, RCUs for making rocket related stuff. And then we have the satellite rocket silo, which is how you discover new things. So how you discover new planets. And the first time you launch it, you get the ability to view anywhere on the map. So if we zoom in on, say, so you can see that Biden nest there is currently unrevealed. If I zoom in, we can now see it. So you get that ability after you launch your first satellite. And we just discovered a new star by launching that satellite. And as I mentioned, the Universe Explorer can get quite full. So I think we've discovered the starting star system is called Calidus. I think we've actually discovered everything in Calidus now that it's giving us a new one. So yeah, I think we've discovered everything. And then they use the landing pad sprite from Space Age for the cargo landing pad. I honestly prefer the old space exploration one. I think there might have... I don't know if the old one was just a placeholder or whether there was a technical reason why they used this. Because I know there was quite a few technical hurdles they ran into getting various space exploration mechanics working in the new Factorio 2.0 engine. And then this is my cargo rocket setup. I'm not going to go through it in this video, but this is basically sort of standard-ish setup using circuits hooked up to a signal receiver to get a signal from space to request stuff, essentially via the logistics network. But at the moment, I've just been filling the rockets manually. And yeah, that's basically now these. So these shoot down meteors. And Unfortunately they can miss, but I've had very good luck. I think once you build like 20 of them on a single planet, then the chances of them missing is like less than 1% or something. It's really, really stupidly low if you can build 20 of these. So yeah, and then refining. So this is my big refining setup. It basically is the same as normal Factorio refining and cracking. It's just the ratios are different. So this actually outputs more heavy oil than light oil, is how these are currently configured. So yeah, you can see 2 out of 2 meteors destroyed, but it had to fire 3 shots to destroy them, so 1 of them missed. But yeah, so this is my oil setup. And I'm just burning off, using Factorio flare stacks to burn off excess petroleum on a circuit-controlled pump. And then up here, so I've got a fairly decent northern border with just flame turrets and laser turrets. And this is what I was on about with the hero turrets. So a bunch of my laser turrets are private first class, but it's taken a while for them to actually get to that rank up. But to be fair, this border doesn't get attacked very much. And then my southern border is actually down here. So I have just pump jacks hooked up to flame turrets and then roboports, etc. Typical Factorio defense. And as you can see, I have a lot of land to work with. I have a lot of land to work with. My primary power right now is solar. Originally, I was using this steam setup, but the coal patches run out. So... But I think it's like 400 megawatts of solar right now, and I just need to... I have a load board panels and accumulators in chests, so I just need to go back and get them. But yeah, so the plan is that I will be moving to a kind of a city block style setup. Yeah, I'll be moving to a city block style. I don't know if they can get across there or not. I don't think they can. But yeah, I'll be moving to a city block style setup at some point. Basically, once I get production science. This is my orbit setup. It's really tiny at the moment, but it does the job. Well, at the moment it's run out of blue chips. Yeah, I need to send a rocket up with a load of blue chips. But yeah, it's basically doing the job. Albeit very, very slowly. And then the only other planet I've got set up is... Well, actually, it's not a planet. It's a moon. It is Shallock, which is where I'm getting cryonite. So the rest of this is all basically just another main bus. A lot of it's actually copied from Nalvis. But the cryonite processing is just... You mine it, crush it into powder. Half the powder, or I think it's like 3/4 of the powder goes towards crystals, and the remainder goes towards rods. And basically, you combine powder and crystals in an industrial furnace to get rods. And then I have a I don't have a warehouse full of rods. Oh, I've run out of heavy oil. Oh, I'll have to look at that. Apparently, I've run out of heavy oil. Why? I'll have to go and have a look at that. My cracking setup is broken for some reason. Oh, it's jammed on petroleum. Oh, the refineries must not be hooked up properly. No, they are. Oh, I'm very confused now. Okay, I'll have to go look at that. I think it might be that my petroleum is... Oh, I think the condition on that is wrong. Okay. I'll go look at that. I'll go look at that in a bit. But yeah, and then for power, I did start with solar, but the solar on this planet is only 22%, so it's not great. So I evolved into... So there's no biters on this planet. It's a 0% threat planet, so... Pollution. I'm literally just turning oil into solid fuel and then into processed fuel to burn it in steam boilers. It's hideously inefficient and it generates a lot of pollution. But it'll work until I start putting nuclear everywhere. But yeah, I don't care how much I pollute this planet because there's no biters on it. But yeah, so I thought I would just give a really quick tour. I don't know what I'm going to do about blueprints because I know, obviously I may get asked that question at some point. I will probably put blueprints in a blueprint book in the playlist or something like that, but not for a while. Obviously, I need to be confident in my designs. It'll probably be when I start doing the blocks that I might put the blocks in a blueprint book and whatnot. But I've just been muddling around and cobbling stuff together, so I have no idea how optimal anything is or whatever. I just know it works, even if it's slow sometimes. So yeah, I don't know what I'll be doing there yet. I guess I should explain the reason that I have a main bus here is the only thing this main bus, or the entirety of this main bus, is essentially geared towards a mall. I've had to do this setup again because I don't have request chests yet. I will do very shortly. But this is also for making cargo rocket sections for launching rockets. Because this planet has everything I need to make cargo rocket sections, so I might as well make them locally. But yeah, so thank you very much for watching. I realize we're sort of 30 minutes in. So thank you very much for watching, and if you made it through the preamble as well. I just realized productivity tech. So the productivity techs. So like I said, it adds the productivity technologies mod. Like I said, adds the space age productivity tech. So rocket fuel, blue chips, plastic, etc. And as I mentioned, they're all fairly gated. So LDS, for example, is productivity science for level 1, then productivity and material, and it's basically varying levels of material up until you get to, it's deep space science 1, then you get then it goes infinite, then it can be infinitely researched. So yeah, deep space science 1, which is still near end game. So it's the last science pack, or the last set of 4 science packs. So yeah, and it just gives 10%. But like I said, the default settings for that mod were 20%, which means I could have actually gotten, by the end of material science, I could have gotten 100% productivity. But because I've changed it to 10%, it just means I'll get 50% instead, which matches space age. So these are all normal. Rocket part productivity increases productivity on cargo rocket sections, because obviously there's no such thing as rocket parts in space exploration. So it increases productivity on cargo rocket section recipes. I don't know how useful that's going to be, given that rocket reusability will actually return a lot of cargo rocket sections. So I'm probably going to end up with excess cargo sections anyway, once I get more levels of rocket reusability. But anyway, so what it also does, though, is and you can turn this off. I've opted not to, because I don't think it'll make a huge difference. But it also adds some productivity tech specific to space exploration, so heat shielding. So it adds heat shielding, cryonite productivity, vulcanite. It basically adds a productivity research for each resource. But as you can see, I think, yeah, so it adds, and again, these are balanced around, you don't get the infinite research until deep space science. So for cryonite, it's level 5, but for like iridite, you only get as far as 40% productivity. You only get as far as 30% productivity before you have to go into deep space science. So yeah, it also does give research productivity. I'm not sure if I'll actually be using this or not. So this requires you to basically finish the pack, essentially. It needs deep space science 4. So it is basically at the end of the game, but I'm not sure if I'll use it or not. I don't know if I'm going to scale beyond finishing the game. I don't know if I'm going to try and do like a mega base or anything like that in K2SE. We'll see. I am working on a space age mega base at the moment on a alternate save, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, sorry, I did say I was going to explain those, so I should. Some people might think that what I've got installed affects balance or whatever, but this is how I obviously want to play, and I think adding K2 does make things a bit longer and a bit more involved. Some of these mods I would not have added to, say, a vanilla SE run, but I think K2 adds that extra element that does make, because it adds extra resources, it makes some processing chains longer and stuff like that. So I think it's fine. So thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to get back to uploading again, but at the moment I think it's just going to be kind of the odd sporadic video. But we'll see what happens, and we'll see if I hopefully get back to Minecraft soon as well. But thank you very much again, and I will see you all later.